NLP modeling. The process of recreating excellence is known as NLP modeling. The fundamental basis of NLP modeling is that you can model any human behavior by mastering the beliefs, the physiology, and the specific thought processes, that is, the strategies that underlie the skill or behavior. So, you can achieve an outcome by studying how someone else does it. The biggest problem in finding how an expert does a task is because skills are usually unconscious. So, it is not possible to explain how someone walks, talks, or writes, for instance. An expert will explain his success through his own theories. These theories can include irrelevant habits and unnecessary information. You can use NLP modeling to transfer what an expert thinks he knows and what he unconsciously knows. Hence, it involves being able to produce the outcome and transferring the behavior to others. You can use modeling in NLP even for ordinary skills, such as how someone keeps their home clean. Phases of NLP modeling. There are 3 phases to modeling in NLP. 1. Observing the model. 2. Find the difference that makes the difference. And 3. Design a method to teach the skill. Let's look at each one of these in detail. Observing the model. This phase involves fully imagining yourself in someone else's shoes by using what is known as second position shift in NLP. Hence, you use direct observation of behavior and physiology to find what the person does and ask quality questions to find out how they do it, which involves internal thinking strategies, and why they do it, which includes his or her supporting beliefs and assumptions. A powerful tool to use in this part of the process is deep trance identification. Deep trance identification is using unconscious clues to generate more information that can be obtained logically. Find the difference that makes the difference. Modeling is the basis of accelerated learning. Hence, it involves getting all the elements together and then removing the elements that are unnecessary. Hence, by systematically removing elements of the model's behavior, we can find the pieces that are important. If the process still works without that element, it is not relevant. When you have all the pieces, you can refine and sequence the model. The following should be considered to find if an element is important or not. Behavioral patterns of the successful person, how results are achieved, difference between this successful person and an unsuccessful person. What are the elements that make the difference? Design a method to teach the skill. In order to teach a skill, it is crucial that you should have all of the relevant pieces of a skill and the necessary sequence. Also, it's important that you should rehearse the natural sequence of the skill. For example, if you do not do the parts of making a cookie in sequence, you may not succeed at all. The NLP modeling components. You can achieve success in modeling by the efficient use of NLP techniques, skills, and presuppositions. In order to achieve success in modeling, there are certain modeling components that need to be observed. These involve observing the models. Number 1, representational systems. Number 2, NLP strategies. Number 3, physiological components like states and body postures. Number 4, meta-programs, beliefs, and values. And number 5, reference structures, the necessary background knowledge. The modeling procedure. The first stage of modeling always starts with strategy work. It is important that you ask good questions and slow down the process. An elicitation generally works as an installation. The following are the steps of the modeling procedure. Listen to important words and combine representational systems. We literally describe what we do. Observe the cues relating to behavior that makes internal processes explicit. Ask logical questions and find the difference between someone who has the skill and someone who doesn't. Use a notation to describe the strategy consistently. NLP strategies. NLP strategies are the sequence of mental representations or steps that are used by us to generate outcomes and experiences. Hence, these include sequences of images, sounds, sensations, internal dialogue, tastes, and smells. Hence, these are the way we remember, learn, decide, solve problems, and motivate ourselves. There are two kinds of NLP strategies: simple strategies and complex strategies. Click on the arrow to know in detail. Simple strategies. There are few sequences or procedures that we apply to most things we do. For example, when we see someone smile, we feel confident enough to talk to him or her. Hence, some people may have a general strategy of first see, then feel, and then do. Such generalized strategies can cause problems. This is because a strategy used for playing football should be different from that used for writing a poem. Complex strategies. We can make fine distinctions about how people achieve things by codifying of our representations. Hence, we can duplicate a result by mapping the cognitive sequence someone uses to create that particular result. This forms the basis of NLP modeling. Strategy installation process. Installation of strategies can be done by various frames, particularly out frames. The following are the stages of the strategy installation process. Number 1, anchoring, which involves connecting it to a contextual sequence. Number 2, instructions, which involves imagining going through the process. Number 3, mental rehearsal. Number 4, rehearsing synesthesia pattern. It involves looking at overlapping accessing cues. Number 5, game playing. Number 6, pattern interruption to divert. Changing a strategy. The following are the steps to be taken in order to change a strategy. Identify what the ideal strategy would be by walking through it. Do an ecology check. Rehearse the strategy. Reframe. Use metaphors. Anchor. Current steps, new steps, chain. Rehearse dissociated state. Designing strategies. It is sometimes necessary that we redesign strategies, as some NLP strategies are not very resourceful and can even cause us harm. By redesigning these strategies, we can change their internal representation system components. Redesigning involves organizing the representational components in a certain order in order to create a desirable outcome. We can understand which modalities are used, resources required, and response styles by tracking down what the brain does. According to NLP, our responses can be congruent or incongruent, hidden or meta, passive or aggressive, delayed or immediate. For example, when we need to redesign a strategy for a person afraid of public speaking, we add a step in the strategy where the person accesses the states of comfort, relaxation, self-humor, etc. We need to include cues, context, and decision points in the design to control the neuro-linguistic processes. Strategy utilization. You can use NLP strategies to transform your daily obstacles into valuable resources and expand the behavioral capacity and choices in your life. You can utilize or use the strategies used by others and then use this information to construct your communication. This helps to build a strong rapport with the person by understanding their sequence of thinking, deciding, and perceiving. Strategy elicitation. Strategy elicitation is an important concept in NLP. By eliciting resourceful experiences such as motivation, creativity, decision, confidence, conviction, dedication, memory, etc., we can achieve excellence. The following steps are to be performed in order to perform strategy elicitation. Praise the client on his accomplishments in order to establish a positive frame for rapport. Take the client back in time where the behavior happens naturally, or using natural anchors of positions to access the state by helping the person associate with the state completely. Intensify the state by helping the client see, hear, and feel the strategy. Use questioning techniques to explore how the state was carried out so that the client explains in words or actions. Use the client's external cues, body posture, language constructs, and how they sequence the representation to calibrate to the client's internal state. In order to bring out other hidden portions, tell the client to exaggerate a portion of the strategy. Remain in a meta state for the content, as structure is more important. Strategy model. The strategy model is derived from the Test Operate Test Exit or TOTE model in 1980. The strategy model was developed by enhancing and enriching the TOTE model by including pieces of subjectivity such as submodalities, sensory rep systems, eye-accessing cues, and linguistic predicates. The unconscious strategy can be released by using these subjective pieces through anchoring the elements, reframing their meaning, and designing and installing the strategy. The strategy model is a comprehensive model for modeling excellence. The strategy model is used in NLP to track down the movement and flow of our consciousness. This helps us to add and mix the different ingredients of the internal representational systems, such as emotions, thought, thinking style, and personality, to recreate all of our experiences. NLP teaches us how our brain operates to create an experience. We need to first identify the strategy that is used by the brain to produce the results. Then we need to elicit the strategy. The next stage is to interrupt or alter the strategy. Then we need to design new strategies or redesign existing ones. Finally, we need to install the strategy and utilize it in a different context. Requisites of a well-formed strategy. The following information is required to form a well-formed strategy. Number 1, type of information required, and for which representation system. Number 2, in order to process the information, the required tests, generalizations, distinctions, and associations. Number 3, specific operations and outputs necessary for achieving outcome. Number 4, most effective sequence for test and operation. Number 5, a precise representation of the desired outcome. Number 6, synchronization with the ecology. Number 7, utilization of visual, auditory, and kinesthetic aspects of the representation system. Presuppositions. The beliefs underlying a system are known as presuppositions. The presuppositions are beliefs that have guided the development of NLP. It is important to keep in mind presuppositions may not be necessarily true, but produce useful results. Beliefs tend to be self-fulfilling. If you believe that you can master a skill, you would persevere until you do. These beliefs are as follows. The way we represent things are our interpretations of reality. It isn't reality itself. We respond to our internalized map of reality. These interpretations may or may not be accurate. People work perfectly, even if they are doing something that is bad for their life. However, all of this is due to a structure. You can change the outcome into something more desirable when you understand the structure. People make the best choice available at any given time. When the choices are limited, it leads to other behaviors. People have all resources they need. There are other possibilities opened up due to this assumption. Often, people have resources that they haven't considered or are available in other contexts. The meaning of communication is the response you get. When someone misunderstands us, we tend to think that there is something wrong with him or her. Both verbal and nonverbal behaviors trigger responses in others. An effective communicator is someone who gets her desired response. It is not possible to not communicate. We are always communicating, either verbally or nonverbally. Every behavior has a positive intent in some contexts. A behavior is always valuable somewhere at some time. When you limit your behavioral choices, you give others the competitive edge. Hence, you are more likely to get your outcome if you are able to respond to any situation in a variety of ways. Mind and body are connected. Each affects the other. Learning difficulties can be caused by representational systems that are not fully developed. This presupposition is the basis of NLP modeling. There is no such thing as failure, only feedback. Every result gives you information. The person or element with the most flexibility in a system will have the most influence. This means the person with the most options and behavioral choices will control the system. Possible in the world, possible for me. Any skill, talent, or ability that an individual has can be taught to anyone who does not have severe physiological or neurological damage.